Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to my review of the GAMDIAS Zeus P1 gaming mouse, which continues the line of GAMDIAS peripherals with vibrant RGB lighting effects. Alongside the customizable RGB lighting that encompasses the mouse in dual bands, the mouse houses the Pixart PMW3366 sensor, which provides tracking accuracy and consistency up to 12,000 dpi, which is helpful for gaming at extreme resolutions and high frame rates. Exterior features also include 8 additional programmable keys after the left switch key. The mouse's sides are imbued with textured rubber for additional grip support. A lightning bolt adorns the left click switch, which is used as the U in Zeus marketing, as Zeus's main weapon was the lightning bolt. Finally, rounding out the surface features is the GAMDIAS logo, which is locked to a breathing lighting effect but can change color based upon DPI level selection. Before talking about software-controlled features like lighting effects and key assignment, I'll talk about how this mouse feels to use for regular computing and gaming. I don't think that whoever designed this mouse put a whole lot of thought into geometry, especially where button location is concerned, because this mouse feels as though it's best for palm gripping because of the elongated surface, palm gripping being where you get as much surface area of your hand on the mouse as possible. But when you are palm gripping, reaching the scroll wheel and the DPI adjustment buttons, especially the DPI adjustment buttons, takes a lot more movement compared to other mice. Like even this is the Lenovo Y gaming mouse, and you don't have to travel very much at all to get from the left click to the scroll wheel, and even the DPI adjustment buttons is a relatively short distance to travel compared to that. So you do have to adjust your hand a lot when palm gripping to reach the scroll wheel and the DPI adjustment buttons, but because of the elongated shape, it's not the best type of mouse for claw gripping either. Claw gripping being where you just have the base of your hand on the table and you manipulate the mouse with your fingertips. And so this is kind of an awkward design, to say the least. But of course, mouse comfort is subjective. A lot of it will vary based on your hand size and your preferred gripping style. So now on to the software controlled features. I will caution though that when I first downloaded the drivers, it prompted me for a firmware update and it bricked my mouse during the first wave of firmware updates. I did have to reload the firmware update from the driver files to get the mouse functioning again. It spent about an hour as a hunk of plastic before I resolved how to fix it. So I just will mention that as a caveat. I've dimmed the lights to better demonstrate the very neonish glow of the lighting effects of the GAMDIAS Zeus P1, and I've also got the Hera software synced up to this recording so we can look at what the software features do in real time. The first option on the left-hand navigation is key assignment. You cannot map the left click to be whatever you want, but you have a lot of flexibility in mapping what all of the other keys do. So you can even have the right click be a keyboard key, for instance, or open up a macro. And you can have the DPI up by default be whatever it is you want, and more options by clicking on the left side menu corresponding to the button. The mouse scroll wheel can be whatever option you want from within the scroll, and also through the additional options that you can open up through the left side menu. So forward and back buttons, as well as you have a third button what is below the DPI down button, and you can map this to be profile switching. So you can cycle the profiles with this button, which I feel is the most useful utility for the button below the DPI down default. Next, you can assign macros. So if we wanted the macro of whatever we put it on to be, let's create a new macro. So create a new macro by command. I'll just name it as ASDF, and then I'll do a record. So I record 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not a by command, record just as an example. By command would be like B14 in CS or whatever. So that is the macro customization, and you can fine tune the delay in between keys. And if I want to assign the ASDF to the macro, I'll make the button below the button down as the macro. So I'll choose that to play ASDF, and you can do it one time or multiple cycles. So ASDF, if I want to mash that really quickly, repeatedly, is the third button. So with mouse control, you can adjust DPI levels to whatever you want. So level 1, you can have this be 800, level 2 be 2000. And yeah, so you can fine tune what the different levels of DPI are, and you can quickly see what color corresponds to your DPI level. And I don't think there is a way to change what color is associated with your DPI level. So you can also fine tune for acceleration if you want that, as well as double click speed. Actually, I don't think you can have custom acceleration profiles. You can just have a blanket acceleration on or off. Cursor speed is what is mapped to what is your Windows default cursor speed. I don't generally touch cursor speed at all, either within window options or within the mouse driver options. If I do need to adjust sensitivity, I do it within game. Mouse luminescence. So here is where we can change the different lighting effects. All of them have the option to have their brightness level adjusted or have the speed at which the lighting effect occurs be adjusted, as well as the direction that the lighting effect goes in. So if you want the parallel wave to go in this direction, you put it up, but if you wanted to go in the other direction, what do you click? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, that button. So parallel wave being the effect that you see now. This is breathing, which is just a pulsating based on whatever color you select. So red, there you go, as well as purple, there you go. What else do we have? Neon, the neon color. Yay. It just cycles through all the different colors. Nothing super fancy about the neon effect. Next, we have the circular wave effect, which does exactly what it sounds like it does. And have the responsive fade in, which is kind of like a breathing effect, except it only initializes once you click, and you can change how fast it happens. Yep, so 0, it just runs like forever, and 1, with one click you go psh. Yep, and if you go to 5, yep, so this is responsive lighting. And finally, we have parallel wave, which has waves of color that are the same on both sides, as opposed to circular wave, which is different. The wave goes around the mouse. So that's pretty much it for all the features that I feel you will ever use. There is also like timer and sound effects that you can map the mouse to do, but I've not really found a use for those. So that's pretty much it in terms of mouse features. So, oh yeah, you can also make the mouse have one singular color. Mouse also has onboard memory, so it can save your profiles, and you can just plug it in at any computer and it'll load up the profiles you've saved. So we have this saved to profile 1, profile 2, you can have it save different macros or lighting effects, and I feel it useful to map one of your many buttons as profile cycle, so you can access your profiles even if you're not connected to a computer that has the Hera drivers. So let's talk about the mouse in general and conclude the video. Ultimately, the GAMDIAS Zeus P1 has enough redeeming features to keep it from being a paperweight. The sensor tracks consistently and reliably at all frame rates and resolutions. The mouse has a lot of customizability with button assignment, macro creation, and profile settings. The lighting effects are also highly customizable and some of the most vibrant available on an RGB mouse. However, the shape, at least for my hands, makes the mouse too awkward to use in either a palm or a claw grip. The software bricking the mouse on the first attempt at a firmware update can't be ignored either. The mouse is available for $49.99 on Amazon, but I feel like it needs to be priced more competitively to warrant an enthusiastic purchase recommendation from me. I give the GAMDIAS Zeus P1 a review score of C-. Thank you for watching my review of the GAMDIAS Zeus P1 gaming mouse. My name is David, and I will see you next video.